Let's be honest for a second. Every kid has asked this question at least once in their life. Why has nobody ever tried to be a real superhero? Not rich, not trained by monks, no tragic destiny, just a regular dude. That question lives rent-free in the head of Dave Lizewski, a painfully average high school student whose biggest enemies are bullies, homework, and his own confidence. Dave isn't special. He's not athletic, he's not popular, and he definitely doesn't have superpowers. But what he does have is something dangerous, the belief that he could be more. Dave lives with his dad, Mr. Lizewski, a kind, clueless guy who's just trying to get through life after losing his wife. Dave's world is simple: school, comics, and surviving social embarrassment. One day, after getting beaten up while trying to help someone being attacked, Dave has an epiphany. If someone did try to be a superhero, maybe the world wouldn't be so messed up. So Dave does something wild. He orders a green scuba-looking suit online. He puts on a mask and he names himself Kick-Ass. No training, no plan, just vibes and bad decisions. His first night out, he gets stopped, then hit by a car, then hospitalized. Reality check. But here's the twist. Dave survives. Metal plates in his body dull the pain. Nerve damage lowers his sensitivity. And suddenly, what should have been the end becomes the beginning. Dave's next outing accidentally goes viral when he intervenes in a street crime and someone records it. The internet explodes. Kick-Ass becomes a meme, a symbol, a question mark. People don't know who he is, but they talk about him like he's a movement. And for the first time in his life, Dave feels seen. At school, his confidence skyrockets. He even gets close to Katie Dumas, the girl he's been crushing on forever, though she mistakenly believes he's gay, making him her safe best friend. Dave doesn't correct her because attention feels better than honesty, and that lie will come back to haunt him. Just when Kick-Ass thinks he's special, he meets people who are actually dangerous. Enter Mindy McCready, also known as Hit Girl. She's small, she's violent, and she's terrifyingly skilled. Alongside her is her father, Damon McCready, aka Big Daddy, a former cop turned vigilante with one goal: destroy crime lord Frank D'Amico. Unlike Dave, Big Daddy and Hit Girl are trained. They don't play hero, they wage war. And Dave realizes something uncomfortable. He's not a hero. He's a kid in a costume. But instead of walking away, he stays. Dave's double life begins to collapse. At school, his lie to Katie spirals into emotional chaos. On the streets, crime isn't comic book clean. It's brutal and permanent. Meanwhile, Chris D'Amico, Frank's son, enters the scene. Rich, lonely, desperate for purpose. Chris reinvents himself as Red Mist, pretending to be a hero just to get close to Kick-Ass, when in reality, he's bait. And Dave, he falls for it. Because deep down, Dave wants validation. He wants to matter. And this is where the movie quietly drops its message. Being a hero isn't about attention. It's about responsibility. The trap is sprung. Big Daddy is captured. And what follows is one of the darkest moments in the story. Big Daddy is tortured, broadcast live, burned alive in front of his daughter, and Hit Girl watches, helpless. This is the moment where the fantasy dies. No jokes, no slow motion glory, just loss. And Dave is forced to face the truth. Playing hero has consequences. Hit Girl is captured next. Dave has a choice: walk away and survive, or step up when it matters most. For the first time, Dave doesn't act for fame. He doesn't act for attention. He acts because someone needs help. He suits up, he infiltrates Frank D'Amico's headquarters, and he fights. Not like a hero, but like a human who refuses to quit. With Hit Girl unleashed and Dave holding his ground, the criminals fall one by one. Frank D'Amico is defeated. Justice, messy, flawed justice, is served. In the aftermath, Dave finally comes clean. He stops pretending, stops lying, stops chasing a fake identity. He doesn't become a legendary superhero. He becomes something better: honest, brave, accountable. And that's the quiet truth of this story. You don't need powers to make a difference. You don't need a mask to be brave. Sometimes, all it takes is choosing to stand up, even when it hurts.